Good evening, friends. I'm Dr. Jayshree Shah, bringing this another great evening live, and we have a special treat for you. Actually, I have two great women. One I know for 35 years. One I just became recently a friend. They both are expert on one thing for sure, and that's healthy cooking. One is a physician. One has a lot of other hats she wears, including a great mom. So, they both are going to show us today how to eat healthy, how to make some quick, very tasty Indian items. Many of our American friends have realized that Indian cooking is easy, Indian cooking is healthy, as long as you learn from the people who eat healthy and who cook tasty food. So today we have a special treat. Let's welcome Dr. Jyoti Patel and then Jayshree, my wife. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to let them take over now. I'm going to be just, behind the screen if they need something, but they're going to take over now.
Thank you.
So Jayshree, it's really nice to meet you. It's really nice
to meet you too. So welcome, Jyoti. So we are going to start with dhokla, which is KHAMAN dhokla, and I think what I did, I soaked this one overnight for 8 to 10 hours. And they will be fermented almost 10 to 12 hours. So this is our dough. It's looking like this. And if you need to dilute a little bit, you can add the water for consistency. So we are going to put salt.
So what is it exactly? What is it?
This is KHAMAN dhokla.
So how do you make that?
So this is we use a split chickpea dal, which is available at Indian store. And you want to show?
I think I want to just, I think it's in reverse, but maybe they can see it's chana dal, right? And it's basically chickpea, or it's a legume. So the great thing about that, Jayshree, is that it's gluten-free. So a lot of times people that are trying to stay healthy are trying to avoid wheat, and they're looking for other flour alternatives. And the nice thing about chana flour is it is. Now, if you don't have the time to soak your chana dal and then grind it the next day, the nice thing that I found was that there's also pre-made flour that you can sometimes get. And the ingredients in this is just a combination of chickpeas, pigeon peas, and lentils, and a little bit of rice. So still gluten-free, but a kind of a cheater kind of alternative.
This is great. It really works awesome. Yes. And it's available at the Indian store. Or you can order on Amazon, maybe. I don't know. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I think I got it at a local Indian store. Yeah. So the nice thing about what you just said is you're using whole ingredients. Really, you're not using anything that's modified that has a lot of fillers or binders in it. You're using the whole ingredient. You're taking the chana dal, you're soaking it overnight, then you're blending it in your high-speed blender to make it into this kind of pasty dough consistency. And I've done it too because you sent me the recipe ahead of time. So I'm going to follow along with you since you're such a chef and I want to learn how to cook like you. So I've got that exact dough the way you said. I also this morning added yogurt to this. So I think your ingredients were, the yogurt and the lemon juice, correct? We added that in there?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was 2 teaspoons of lemon juice and 3 tablespoons of plant-based yogurt to let it ferment.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the things you told me was, it's nice for the fermentation for it to be in a warm place. Lucky I'm in Arizona. We have over temperature every day. So I left this outside for the morning and it's nice and fermented. So thank you for that.
Wow.
Yeah. Fermentation is using bacteria to break down the grain or the lentil or the legume. So when you use bacteria to pre-digest a lot of these grains, it allows the body, our body, to absorb nutrients a lot better. So fermentation is good for gut health. Fermentation is really just helping the probiotics in your belly digest food. It also helps the body break down the nutrients that are in this legume, and so that the body can absorb it better. So again, a great tip here is to ferment, not only soak and grind, but ferment your legume or lentil or grain.
Yes, yes, I agree with you completely.
So what's next?
So we can put salt.
Okay.
And we can put our jalapenos. And we can put ginger.
Okay, so jalapenos, ginger, and salt. And really,
Yes.
you said about a teaspoon of the ginger, 2 teaspoons of the jalapenos, and a pinch of salt, right? Okay.
Yes.
Along with you. This is probably one of my favorite dishes, but I never make the time to make it. So thank you for letting me cook along with you. So guys, we're just
yes, I stir, and what I'm going to do now, I already put the thali. You already put the thali too, right?
Yeah, I've started my steamer right here. So there's a steamer on the stove, and it's got a plate that I'm going to lay this on.
And what I was going to tell people, suppose if they don't have a steamer like you, they can use the pot, and they can use like 10-inch round cake pan or 8-inch round cake pan, and they can make in the regular pot. So really, this works fine too. So they don't have to go shopping and get anything, steamer or anything. They can just use a regular pot and just put it in. And I'm using like little, you have to make it a height. So I'm using this for the height. So
you say you do that. You use your Instapot a lot?
I'm sorry?
You can put it in Instapot a lot?
I do. I love my Instapot. I make everything in Instapot pretty much. A lot of things, tons of things.
Can you put this in the Instapot as well?
Yeah, you can do this in Instapot if you want, but you have to have a smaller plate. It depends upon how big your Instapot is. I have a 8-quart. So I think 8-inch will fit probably. So they can try, they can find something in the house, the round thing, they can try to put it in. And in Instapot, if you are doing it, you don't have to put the lid on. You can just use one of the lid like this for anything you have around the house. And you can just put it in and it's good to go. So either way is okay.
So a lot of times people will ask about cooking methods. And of all the cooking methods that we have, steaming is actually the healthiest version of cooking that we can do. So the more heat we use on our foods, the more it denatures the food and more changes it so that it can become less beneficial to us. So steaming actually allows it to preserve all the nutrients without damaging the food itself. So the worst type of cooking, of course, is deep frying. Or if you're using a grill, if you're charcoaling and burning the food down to a crisp, that type of cooking actually produces a lot of toxins that are very inflammatory and harmful to the body, especially when we talk about things like cardiovascular disease or joint inflammation. So frying and grilling, when we do it to an excess, can change the food into a more inflammatory food. So I'm so glad that you picked a recipe with steaming, because steaming is actually the healthiest way of cooking something. So thank you for doing that.
Yes, yes. And I bought this Eno from Indian store.
Okay, so got mine here.
Yes.
And this is what, a fruit salt?
Yeah, they are calling fruit salt.
Okay.
I think that's what they're calling, Eno fruit salt.
Okay. So, if people don't have it, can they use baking powder or no?
Probably not.
Okay.
Not for dhokla.
Okay.
So I think Eno is good. I think, and I think everywhere there are Indian stores are there really. Pretty much all the towns has it. So they can just go and get it, or they can order online.
Okay.
So I'm putting this Eno over here.
Okay.
And when you put Eno, I think what you do, you can put little water. And look at this. It's bubbling. So it goes like this.
You don't have to stir it too much though, right? Not too much?
No, I think you have to stir.
You do? Okay, I'm gonna stir it here. You guys can see me stirring. If you can see, tends to get kind of foamy. I don't know if anyone can see.
Yeah, it is foaming.
It goes from like a dough to almost like sea foam.
Yes.
So the Eno actually helps bring that up. I wonder what it does to it that makes it foamy.
I think it just makes it, and then what I'm doing, I'm putting in thali.
Okay, so you're just
Like-
putting it in there. Okay, I'll do the same.
So it is going in.
Okay. So we're just
And
putting
you
it
know,
in,
really,
it's already heated on the stove.
yes, I think it's good to heat
Boiler,
it.
you don't have a, just
really-
a double boiler and it's on top of water. Okay.
Really, if you want to spray, you can. I use this avocado spray if you need to spray.
Okay.
So what I did, and really you can garnish this dish with black pepper or paprika, whatever you prefer. So I put it on the top,
Okay.
black pepper like this, or paprika.
Okay, what about the sesame seeds? Oops, I just dropped a bunch.
I think you can put sesame seeds if you can. Yeah, that'll be good.
And then a little bit of red pepper, you said paprika?
Yeah.
All right, so
I
that's
think
done.
and if you don't like too spicy, you have to be careful.
Okay, and then
So
cover.
now we have to keep it for 20 minutes.
Alexa, set time for 20 minutes. Okay, good.
So we will wait for 20 minutes now. And so do you want to talk about this dish more probably? Do you need to add anything?
Well,
Jyoti?
I think that the things that I love about it, first of all, Indian snacks can be usually very unhealthy. So a lot of frying, a lot of oil. You know, we use in our particular part of India, you know, we use this chickpea flour, but we make things like papras and kachoris and khandvis and kakaras, and sometimes we use a lot of oil. But this particular recipe, this particular steamed cake, it's delicious, but it's super nutritious. So the things that I mentioned about it, it's gluten-free, it's steamed, it's fermented, it's vegan. What else? We put some spices in there. The ginger that we put in there and the jalapenos that we put in there are super nutritious. For those of you who know about ginger, it has gingerols in it, powerful antioxidant. It's a cousin of turmeric. It also has a small amount of cucamoids in it as well. So ginger is good for the immune system. It's good for your joints and inflammation, good for general health. So you can't go wrong with ginger. Second is the jalapenos. Anytime you add hot peppers to your meal, again, you're adding in more anti-inflammatory agents. So I love that. If you don't know that hot peppers should be organic, that is something that you should look up. In 2020, the EWG put hot peppers on the Dirty Dozen list. So the Dirty Dozen are the 12 most heavily pesticided produce on the market. And hot peppers is actually one of them this year. So if you're buying jalapenos, make sure you're buying organic. Okay, so that's what we've got going on. And what we sprinkled on top was a little bit of paprika and a little bit of black pepper. Again, anytime you add spices to your meal, you're getting this great mixture of flavor, scents, but also powerful antioxidants, flavonoids that are beneficial to your health. So make sure you're always doing that. At the end of this dish, we're going to garnish it with cilantro. And cilantro is an herb that has heavy metal detoxifying benefits. So I'm a big fan of cilantro. I love it. I could put it in everything. Some people don't like the taste of cilantro, maybe because it tastes like soap to some people if they have that genetic predisposition to it. But if you love cilantro, throw that on top of your dish. Every time you do that, you're getting rid of a little bit of the toxins in the body. So we're trying to use less oil. And you saw Jayshree Ben talk about maybe using an avocado spray. So we talk about maybe staying away from cooking oils that are vegetable based, those Crisco type oils, corn oils, hydrogenated oils. We want to stay away from those kinds of oils. If you can get a cold pressed extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, those are your better, healthier alternatives to cook from. If you can get cold pressed organic safflower oil, then that's great. But usually those kinds of oils that are blends tend to be extracted with chemicals, petroleum products, and are highly processed. So stay away from vegetable oils, Crisco-like oils, the things that we grew up cooking with. So what do you think, Jayshree? Have you switched over to regular healthy oils? Or do you try to avoid it?
Yes, I agree with you. I try not to use oil, but if we need to use, is good source of avocado oil or olive oil. Definitely. And really, I like the spray too, because you can spray a little bit and you can really don't have to use so much, you know. So definitely, it works. And thank you so much for explaining us about the nutrition. You know?
Actually, to add a few things, I think fermented food is very important, like you explained, that importance of microbiome. And fermented food provides both the prebiotic and probiotic because it brings in what the bacteria needs to thrive on, plus it brings the bacteria itself. And that's very important for a healthy microbiome, number one. Number two, I sincerely think that Indians use too much oil. We need to use less oil. And to be honest with you, we can prepare every dish without oil. So if you are in the business of losing weight, if you are in the business of reversing heart disease, eliminate the oil completely. You may eliminate some of your favorite dish, but you will definitely lose weight and you will prevent a lot of heart disease happening again and again. So no oil is the best solution, but if you have to use the most minimum and use the avocado or use the olive oil. So those are some great points. Fermented food, a lot of spices, a lot of steamed food, like you said. When we cook with a lot of fried food, particularly deep fried, and if you use a lot of the grills and other thing, there is a formation, like you said, denaturing the protein, and when they connect to the sugar, they make this advanced end glycation products, and those are now implicated into heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, cataracts, skin wrinkles. So we definitely avoid deep frying. We definitely need to avoid any kind of high temperature grilling. So I think this dish is one of the healthy snack. Very quickly can be made, in like half an hour can be made, and it could be handy anytime. You can store it for a few days, and that will be always available when you need it.
Another thing, you know what I learned, Jyoti, oil has no really role in the cooking. I think we are brainwashed from childhood. We have to put oil. We have to put oil. I'm not using oil since last couple months, I would say, and I think 2.5 months, and I'm not missing it. And I'm getting used to with the veggie broth and water mainly. So we will do water vagar today.
I love that. I know you told me that when you sent me that message. I thought, wow, I wonder how that's going to turn out. But I'm excited to use water instead of oil. And I have watched some other videos where you use veggie broth to start your meal when you're preparing a meal. So in Indian food, we always start with an oil base and then we put our spices to temper in them. But I watched you do that with vegetable broth, and I think that's a really amazing way of still getting the tempering and the flavors without getting that extra oil. Most people don't know this, but a tablespoon of olive oil has 26 grams of fat. So, if you times that by 10, which is on average how many calories, it's really 9. But if you make it easy, it's 260 calories just for that 1 tablespoon. So if you're trying to keep your weight down, you're not going to succeed if you're consuming a lot of oil that you don't even see or feel or taste. That's making it into a meal. Yeah.
Absolutely. So really, to me, I think we just have to change our mindset. We are just so brainwashed from the beginning. We have to use oil in our recipes. We have to do tadka. We have to really saute everything in oil. Otherwise, it doesn't taste right. So I think that mentality we need to change probably. And really, our palate gets used to with eating without oil. Now I cook even pav bhaji, everything without oil, and nobody knows even really. Even if I don't tell people, they don't even differentiate much. So
and the other
definitely,
thing that people get used to eating besides oil is meat proteins, right? So using plant-based yogurt was something that you added on, and I love that idea. Getting away from dairy, which can be inflammatory as well. And then secondly, when people think about vegetarian food, they get concerned that they're not getting enough protein. But in this 1 cup of chickpea flour, we have 20 grams of protein. and 10 grams of fiber. So people don't realize how much protein is in legumes, lentils, beans. You can definitely get protein from your plant-based diet. So I love that we are able to make that substitution, not just with dairy and oil, but also animal sources of protein, using more vegetables and using more of lentil, beans, and legumes. So thank you for also bringing that in. Not only that, but I want to tell you that chickpea flour gives you 30% of your daily requirements for thiamine, which is vitamin B1, 101% of your folate, 25% of your iron. It gives you phosphorus, magnesium, copper, manganese. So again, I mean, we grew up with this kind of cooking, but I never realized how nutrient dense, a cup of chickpea flour was. So just imagine all the dhoklas that I've eaten, and I didn't even know I was getting all this protein and fiber. So it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good learning for me too. So I'm glad you picked this recipe. So let's go and do another recipe. What do you want to make next?
Let me add quickly one important point you made, Dr. Patel, that animal products, like you said, has protein but has no fiber. And we know now that fiber actually is better in terms of longevity. Fiber actually makes you live long, not the protein. People who eat a lot of protein actually live less. So we need protein for our muscle building. We need protein for a lot of other good benefits, but we always need protein with fiber. Protein alone is just not the right thing to do. And that's where animal products gives you a lot of protein, but there's zero fiber. While chickpea flour, many of the plant-based dish brings the protein and fiber same time. So you get 2 for 1, and it still tastes a great thing. I think once you start giving up on animal products, like Jayshree said, your taste buds, your palate starts to change, and you actually start to enjoy plant-based food more than even ever animal-based products. Let's start the second dish now. Yeah.
So second dish is 3-bean chaat, which you sent me the recipe, and really it's a wonderful recipe. We already tried it yesterday, and oh my God, it's amazing, really. So what we are doing, see, instead of oil, I'm using veggie broth. And you can make your own veggie broth at home. I'm going to post that recipe eventually.
Yeah, I got my veggie broth.
So I am using 2 tablespoons of veggie broth. I'm making my dressing.
Okay.
And I'm using lemon juice.
Okay.
And I am using
lemon juice and 2 tablespoons of the veggie broth. Okay.
Then I put salt. I put paprika. I put cumin. I'm putting black pepper. And I'm putting chaat masala.
Okay. So salt.
So we can start with dressing.
Paprika. Cumin.
So now what we will do, I think we are going to take 3 different beans.
Okay.
I am taking rajma, which is a red kidney beans. So, and then I'm taking garbanzo. Then I'm taking chora, which is a black eye beans. And we can store everything.
Okay.
And then I'm putting potatoes. I'm putting tomatoes. I'm putting cucumber. I am putting onion.
Okay.
And I'm putting some jalapenos. So, and you can store everything, you can mix everything.
Okay. So I've got my beans here. So you put the beans in, and then you put the beans in first.
Yes.
One of the things you and I talked about was beans. You can take your dry beans, you can soak them overnight, you can boil them and then use them. Or if you're in a rush, you can use canned beans. But I always recommend that if you're going to get canned beans, that you get the ones that are not, that are BPA free. So most people don't realize this, there's a lot of attention on BPA and plastic, but people don't realize that the highest amounts of BPA that we get are actually from canned goods. So if you're getting canned beans, make sure you look at the label to see if they are BPA free. So I've got a couple of cans here that I use. I did soak my beans, but I also have canned beans as well. And this particular brand is Simple Truth Organic. And they do have, I think there's a glare on the thing, but you can see it from here. It basically says the lining of this can was produced without BPA. So it's important because we know that even if you eat a healthy diet, if you're getting a lot of toxins and chemicals in your products, such as the BPA in your cans, those are actually known endocrine disruptors. They can cause changes in your hormonal cycles in children, in adults. It can disrupt insulin production. There's so many other factors with BPA that we know now. So don't just avoid plastic water bottles, also avoid aluminum cans or these cans that are lined with BPA. So something to look at. Okay, so I've got my bean mixture here and I put the dressing in there. Next, I'm gonna add the potatoes like you did, Jayshree. And then did you add my dressing now already? You added the potatoes and then you added, what did you add after that? Did you add the cucumbers and the tomatoes as well?
Yes, I did. Yes, I put all the vegetables. I put the dressing.
So I'm going to put my cucumbers and tomatoes in.
Yes.
Okay. And then I have some onions here as well. So I'll add those in.
Yes.
You see, I'm adding my tomatoes in. And of course, this salad is for me, so I'm okay with using my hands. Not a chef, just a doctor who believes food is medicine. And I think there's a lot of concern with people in terms of touching their food. And, in the Indian culture, we touch our food all the time. We eat with our hands.
Yeah.
There's something lost to the sensation, the touch, and the taste and the flavor of food when we separate ourselves from food. So I'm not afraid of touching my food.
Yes, I think it's a lots of love, that's what I think. We always make a dough with the hands.
Here's my onions.
So we use our hands a lot. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we use our hands to make our dough. We use our hands to taste things. And of course, if you're cooking for other people, you obviously don't want to do that. But if you're cooking for yourself, people in your home should be fine. So I also have some pomegranate seeds. Probably one of my favorite things is pomegranate. I did happen to find some, even though they're out of season. So I'm going to add some pomegranate seeds in there.
You can add pomegranate. I got it in the container and it was not good.
Yeah, I know it's out of season. So
yeah, it's out of season.
Things.
So I'm not putting it, but you can put it.
And I have some cilantro, of course. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm mixing it all up. And it's looking pretty darn amazing, I have to say. So it looks really, really good. I'm just can't wait to have it. So again, what do we have here? We have 3 different types of beans. And remember, the beans again are high in fiber. And like Dr. Ajay said, fiber is an important component of our health. It helps feed our microbiome. And without it, the microbiome dies off, which causes then upstream problems in our body, such as inflammation, dysregulation of hormones, cardiovascular disease, diabetes. So many of our chronic disease states are linked to a low fiber diet. So you're getting a ton of fiber in here. Now, Jayshree also mentioned a bunch of spices. She mentioned cumin, she mentioned paprika, salt, she added some black pepper, which I forgot to add, so I'm gonna add that in there. All these spices, again, add an additional layer of health benefits with the antioxidants you get through spices. So yes, add your spices, add your herbs, add your fiber. We've got some tomatoes in here, great source of vitamin C. We've got some cucumbers, again, fiber. We've got some green beans. I added the green beans later. I wasn't going to, but I did. And those are rich in folic acid. Also, we have potatoes. I know a lot of people kind of get nervous about potatoes, but if you boil your potatoes, it lowers the glycemic index of the potato. And if you leave the skin on the potato, you're actually getting the fiber from the potato. And potatoes are high in vitamin C, guys. So when folks are trying to take vitamin C tablets for preventing COVID, I'm like, have your vitamin C in your food, right? And your potato is a good source of vitamin C. So a little bit of potato in there as well, just to make that starch. Now, Jayshree Ben, do you ever add the cilantro chutney on this particular salad? Do you ever add anything else on there, like yogurt or?
What I was thinking, you can add really the cilantro chutney if you want. You can make a chat out of this completely.
Yeah.
You can have a healthy crackers if you want, like a healthy crackers, you know, from seeds. If you want to put that, and then you can put even really the tamarind chutney, like we make from dates. If you want to, then you can put a little yogurt. You can put little paprika, a little jeera on the top, and you can enjoy total meal as a chaat, or you can just eat just like this. It tastes amazing, even just like this. I loved it. I made it yesterday, and we really, pretty much that was our dinner.
And I love that you took oil out of the recipe. There was a recipe that we had found online, and it had olive oil in it, and you substituted with vegetable broth. Again, amazing. I'm so glad that you said that, because a lot of times when we make salad dressing, we say we need to have, you know, an acid and an oil. But, you know, what you've just taught me is you don't need to have the oil. You can have the acid and a broth, and that makes a salad dressing. Yeah. I'm going to try that going forward, is eliminate the oil. And
absolutely, absolutely. I think you can just make from fruits really all the salad dressing. That's what I do. So it really comes out amazing, definitely. So I think this is a great dish, really. This is very healthy, very nutritious.
That's the timer.
And our dhokla is done. I think this is the one.
Okay, so what's next? We're gonna stop the stove, right? This is, oh, yours is done.
So we're gonna stop the stove. I took it out.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do, I am going to make the tadka probably. So
here's my pan with a little bit of water, and we're gonna sprinkle the seeds in here instead of oil. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So I'm heating up my pan.
What I'm doing, I am putting water on the stove right now. I put 2 tablespoons of water. And with the mustard seeds, what I did, I roasted my mustard seeds just on dry pan. So I always keep it in the bottle, the roasted mustard seeds. So I pop it in the on the stove, you know, in the pan. So mine is done. So I put it in, and I'm putting some sesame seeds too. So literally, this is my tadka.
Okay, I've got my sesame seeds here.
So what I will do, I am just taking this and putting on the top.
Did you put hing in there, Jayshree Ben?
No, I forgot, but I think you can put it in.
Okay, so I'm going to put asafoetida in mine.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And really, you can put a little more water if you need to, you know what I mean? If you don't have enough agar, because, you know, the dhokla sucks the water, kind of way. It really soaks in the water, and it comes out amazing.
So there's water with the heated seeds. I'm just going to pour it over my pan.
Yeah, you can pour all over. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I took a little more water.
Okay.
Yeah, so really you can do 3 tablespoons, it's fine, 2 to 3 tablespoons. And then what you are going to do, you are going to take, I have a coconut. So I'm putting coconut a little bit everywhere.
Okay.
And I'm just spreading it.
Here's my coconut. And you're just putting coconut over the top.
Yes, and then I'm putting cilantro.
Okay. Okay.
And what you are doing, then
Good.
you let it cool down a little bit before you cut it.
So you have to let
We
it
can
cool down.
cut it
Cut it.
a little bit.
Okay.
Cool it down a little bit, like
How's
10
it
minutes
looking?
or so. 5. Yeah.
It looks great for
Oh
both
my
of
God,
you.
it looks great.
We don't know how it's going to taste, but it looks good.
Yeah, it's going to taste amazing. So you can cut it if you want to show
Okay.
people, you know.
I put it on a cooling back, so I'll wait for a few minutes and then we can make the
Okay,
chutney and
let's
I'll
wait. So do you want to start chutney now? Amazing.
That's my phone. Okay. So next we're making the chutney, right?
Yes, cilantro chutney.
Okay.
Because usually you eat dhokla with chutney. So what I mean, I think dhokla goes with chutney. So I thought let's make chutney together. So that'll be fun. So we can have a complete meal with this, So I'm going to move just to the other station right now.
Okay.
You want to just turn the computer now? So what I'm doing, I'm taking, first I'm taking almonds.
Okay.
I like your idea about the almonds. I love it.
Yeah.
Instead of peanuts. And I'm putting green peppers.
Green peppers.
And I'm putting cumin.
Cumin, just the cumin seeds.
And cumin was roasted. If you want to put 1 tablespoon of water, that's fine,
Okay. So I'm gonna put that in here as well.
So can I blend? Is it okay with you?
Yeah, you can. If they want to use it, you can.
Only next I'm putting cilantro.
I'll do mine next.
Then I'm putting mint. And then I'm putting jalapenos, garlic, ginger, coconut, salt, lemon juice. And if you need water, you can put, let's start without water. And then if you need to put a tablespoon, we can.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it gets sticky in the bottom, doesn't it? Needs a little water.
Yes.
So I added my mint and my cilantro. And then I have ginger, garlic, jalapenos, and some coconut. So I'm gonna put that in there.
Yes.
Okay, and lemon
Yes.
juice. And you said a little
Yes.
bit of water. Okay.
Yes. And now we can blend.
Okay. My water in there.
I think you don't want to make it so smooth. You know what I mean? You can make it smooth enough, but this is good enough. So, yeah.
Oh, that smells so good. It smells
I'm
so
sorry. It smells amazing. Yeah, you are right.
good. We need smell-o-vision.
Yeah. Oh, that would be wonderful.
So again, cilantro has really tremendous health benefits in terms of just vitamins like vitamin K, vitamin A, and minerals, but also acts as a heavy metal detoxifier. So adding cilantro as a garnish or adding it into your sauces can get you that added health benefit. We added ginger and we added garlic. We talked a little bit about ginger, but garlic is amazing in itself. You know, when it's crushed, it releases a sulfur-like compound called allicin, which has tremendous cardiovascular benefits. Allicin also confers other immune benefits. A lot of people take garlic to help with lowering blood pressure, cardiovascular health, immune health. So you can't go wrong with garlic. We added some onions to our salad, our bean salad, and onions also have tremendous antioxidant benefits. I like to use the red onion because over the yellow and the white onion, the red onion has higher amounts of flavonoids and antioxidants to help again with that immune protection, cardiovascular health, anti-inflammatory. So we've got just a potpourri of antioxidants happening here today and tons of fiber, tons of vitamins, tons of minerals. So when you eat this meal, just thinking about all of those nourishing benefits and how your body is benefiting from all the love you put into your food. So I thank you today for showing me how to make this too. So now I've got my chutney. Looks really good.
Do you want to show the dhokla? Do you want to cut the dhokla?
Yeah.
We
Can
cut
you
the
cut
dhokla.
me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to cut mine.
I'm bringing mine over so we can have a taste session here. So I'm just slicing mine in like little squares, just like you would.
Diamonds, yeah.
And then I'm going to try to take it off and put it on a plate. Okay. So I'm going to get mine out here. Oh, my goodness. Looking good. I love that it's soft and fluffy. I was worried that mine was going to turn out kind of flat.
No.
But it's very, very fluffy. I like it. Okay.
Yes, it's really nice. Yeah.
So here's
It's
mine.
so easy to make everything.
So good. I'm going to take my bean salad out too, because I think I'm going to have some of that.
Wow. And you can eat this dhokla with chutney. So, you know, like we dip it in and we eat it. Just like this, right?
Beautiful.
I'm sorry?
It looks beautiful. So I made my
beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
I
so
can put my salad. Yeah.
And my salad. Looking good. Grab me a fork.
Yes. We can test it. This is mine. Jyoti.
Nice. Very nice.
Let me see yours.
We'll put ours together.
It looks amazing. So nice. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for spending the afternoon with me and showing me how to make these dishes. I've grown up eating these dishes, but I've never really learned how to make them well. So this is a treat for me. So thank you.
Thank you.
I think frankly, to make 3 dishes in like 45 minutes or 1 hour, very nutritious, very easy to make, very tasty. I think many Americans don't realize that cooking at home is not that hard if you plan properly. And if you have all ingredients ready, you can make your meal for the whole family in 1 hour in a very cost-effective way. And I think it will take probably 20-30 minutes to drive up to the restaurant, order the food, wait for the food, eat it, pay the bills, drive back. That will take you longer than cooking yourself at home. And today, both of you showed to all our viewers that healthy, tasty food can be done in less than an hour for the whole family and can be very cost effective and can be more fun. Plus, sitting in your own home environment has so much more value with your own family than going out to some remote foreign place and looking at strangers. I rather look at my family than just look at the who's sitting on the next table. So these are just so many benefits of what you two did today. So I really appreciate. I think this is something of a regular event for our page, for your page, and we definitely will be like making all different ethnic foods, not just Indian food. We'll be bringing, Mexican food. We'll be bringing Chinese food. We'll be bringing Italian food, but they all will have a slant of healthiness to each one of them. So we will take all the popular recipes and turn them into the most healthy recipe you can ever find without removing any taste. So I think this was a great, great event for us. Thank you, Dr. Patel.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. It was a lot of fun with you.
It was great, Jayshree. Let's do it again.
Okay, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye.